Hi, everyone. Glad to have you with us and welcome back. We're also glad it's almost the weekend. One more day to go. It's going to be a wet one, but the good news is temperatures are going to stay pretty much on par until the bottom drops out of things just in time for your weekend. I've got a nighttime low of, at last update, 11 degrees over the course of your weekend. As I said, 11, and we've got snow on the heels of that next week. And I've got your Thanksgiving Day forecast for you. Not much of an improvement temperature-wise. I'll let you in on that right now. We'll get to that and much more in just a second. The latest armed robbery in neighboring Floyd County. I'll have some details on that. The best piece of evidence yet for state police and authorities there. Another school principal will address the McGoffin County Board of Education in regards to goals they have now set to improve on what was already improving scores for the second round of K-Prep. And that community assessment that we invited you to at the health department yesterday was a success, not as big of a crowd as they had hoped. But now they're gearing up for another county-wide survey. I'll tell you how it went, what they have assessed, and what kind of input they're seeking from this point further. Local news and announcement, of course, mixed in with all that as well. A granddaughter is charged with murder in regards to the fatal fire that claimed the lives of her grandparents. Kentucky State Police have now charged the juvenile with murder and other charges in connection to the fatal fire that happened in Lincoln County. The juvenile, according to state police and their investigation and that of arson investigators, intentionally set fire inside the home, made it out, and then alerted authorities to the blaze. She's also been charged with one count of arson in the first degree. It was near Eubank that it happened. It happened Wednesday night around 11 p.m. that it was reported. As a result of the blaze, 60-year-old Linda Garland and her husband, 64-year-old Everett, were found inside the home, both pronounced dead at the scene. Apparently unhappy with her grandparents for reasons unknown at this time. Police believe the teenage granddaughter set fire to the home. She escaped the burning home and then alerted authorities thereafter and has since been charged. Well, just last week, I showed you some pictures after the U.S. Bank in Virgie was robbed. The second business in the small eastern Kentucky city to be robbed in just 2 weeks, and the second bank in just 6. Now, as for the U.S. Bank, police say the man came in, as you see here, demanded cash, and then fled with an accomplice. The driver of the waiting ATV was seen outside on surveillance video after the individual, the other man, believed to be around 6 feet in height, entered the bank and demanded cash. The surveillance videos painted a picture only of two highly covered individuals in regards to their clothes and disguises who fled on an ATV armed with a gun and leaving with cash. So far, no real leads as to who either of the men are. And like was reported then, back in September, state police had linked 3 other and similar robberies in Floyd County. In those cases, a male, around 6 feet in height, usually wearing blue jeans, gloves, and a mask, still on the loose, not apprehended by authorities. But now some really brave actions by a store clerk have left an armed robber to flee before he could get any cash in his hands, and police with a face at a business involved in one of those earlier robberies that I just told you about. And the description of the individual, well, matches to some degree all the others. Kentucky State Police got a call of an attempted robbery at the Cardinal Country Store around 1:45 this morning. Business one of those robbed just weeks ago. When they arrived at the scene, they learned that a male unidentified came into the store, his face covered with a bandana, brandished a weapon, demanded cash, but before he could get any, the clerk reached and grabbed the bandana and jerked it off his face, and these security images give, albeit a rough and grainy, still a glimpse as to the man behind the mask. And this appears to be the best piece of evidence that police have to go on. Police have released these security images to the entire eastern Kentucky area and beyond in hopes that someone will recognize some of the facial features in regards to helping them solve the case. In this particular incident, the man was described as about 6 feet in height, similar build, wearing a black hooded sweatshirt, denim jeans, brown shoes, and a camouflage hat, along with the aforementioned bandana. Authorities say that you can submit any information anonymously by calling the Kentucky State Police, and you can even do it toll-free at 800-222-5555. I'll be right back after these messages.
Hey, thanks for watching Your News Today. And if you're in the market for a used vehicle, come to Premier Motor Sales in Paintsville, Kentucky. A good example is this 2005 GMC Canyon with the off-road package and automatic transmission. We had it at $98.50, and right now during the month of November we cut the price down to $88.50. We love trade-in, so come see us at Premier Motor Sales in Paintsville.
Sagersville Nursing and Rehabilitation Center is proud to announce the newest members of our family, Administrator Elaine Jones and our full-time chaplain Mark Campbell and volunteer Richard Green, new faces with the same sincere desire as these, to assist you and your family with short-term rehabilitation solutions or long-term nursing care needs, close to home and those that you love. Sagersville Nursing and Rehabilitation.
Tom Turkey here. Home Furniture's cooking up some sweet deals for the holidays. Buy a dining room suit and get 50% off the matching hutch. Buy a living room suit or sectional and get the matching chair or recliner 50% off. Buy any bedroom group and get a free mattress pad and sheet set. Plus, 0% interest for 3 years to qualified buyers. Make Thanksgiving a little tastier with your choice of a free ham or turkey with minimum purchase. Hurry into Home Furniture, Highlands Plaza, Prestonsburg.
They've got muck boots for the hills and the mud, work boots for on and off the job, like the newest and maybe most comfortable, hardest working Red Wing ever. They've got western boots for kicking up your heels and a whole new store full of the newest styles from all the famous makers you love, like Wrangler, Carhartt, Ariat, Miss Me, Leathers by Scully, and more at the brand spanking new Red's Boot Barn in Salyersville.
At the end of every race, Mark Martin hangs up his driving gloves. He hangs up his fire suit. And he hangs up his helmet. Which is why he picks up his phone and opens the ER Extra app. The app shows ER Extra wait times, locations, and more. It's the one safeguard Mark Martin is never without. ER Extra at Paul B. Hall Regional Medical Center. Extra fast, extra easy, extra great.
It's so new it doesn't even have a name, but it does have an amazing taste all its own. 4 pancakes, butter, syrup, plus your choice of any of our dozens of DQ toppings with a little whipped cream on top, and of course some of our world-famous DQ soft serve. And you can add bacon, sausage, or even a little country ham for a full-blown breakfast treat. Or sink your taste buds into a quarter or even half-pound grill burger fixed exactly like you like it. And you want to know the best part? James says you can have either one for breakfast as early as you want, but only at your Sagersville DQ. It's a time to cherish and a time to remember the reason, to pause and relish in the joy and spread the spirit of the Christmas season, and it's all best done with a holiday stop at the Seasonal Shop, where they're having their annual open house Thursday, Friday, Saturday, the 14th through the 16th, 9 to 6 every day. They'll be serving hot and cold holiday refreshments. You can take at least 20% off the entire store, up to 70% off select merchandise, and an extra 20% off all clearance items. A free gift with every purchase, and be sure to register for one of the great door prizes. The annual Fraser's Prater Drugs Seasonal Shop Christmas Open House, the 14th, 15th, and 16th in downtown Salyersville.
Well, the community assessment at the McGoffin County Health Department, the latest phase of the Matt McGoffin project, which started back in 2005, was a great success yesterday, and they gathered a great deal of information from it. They still have a great deal of information to gather, and for those individuals who couldn't be there yesterday, they're hoping to reach them in form of a survey that they'll be conducting very soon. But before we talk about that, I can tell you that a host of individuals, not just related to the medical field, but concerned about the health and health care in our community, did stop by the health department yesterday, during which they examined all the assets and attributes of all the areas of our health and healthcare environment.
They looked closely at the weight of all the positives, such as the physical activity offered by the Dawkins Trail, all of our volunteers, the partnerships, our healthcare providers, our education. They looked at a vision of a drug-free, physically active, caring, civic-minded community with even greater access to medical care and mental health. They identified our risks, our concerns: obesity, smoking, cancer, poverty, much more. Areas where we're strong, areas where we're not. And they brought in some outside professional help. They contracted with Dr. Angie Carmen from the College of Public Health at the University of Kentucky. She's been doing community health assessments and planning at dozens of counties across the state. And they asked Specifically, she does, what is the status of what you have as far as your assets are concerned, and what would you like to see be done as far as the health and well-being of your community is concerned. She and Sharon Fields of the Health Department told us about yesterday's event, what they accomplished, and what they've got planned.
More questions about what are the strengths here? What already do you have in place that would help us further a healthy Magoffin County? And some of the things I was impressed by, a lot of volunteerism, a lot of strength in the community where they come together around causes. You've got fire departments around the community, you've got nonprofit organizations around the community, you've got a strong faith-based community, people that have at the heart of what they do an interest in a healthier community. So that was very positive.
And what don't we have?
Well, the statistics would tell us that there are some, there's room for improvement with regard to just the status of the health of our community. You've got high smoking, you've got high teen pregnancy rate. We talked a little bit about the high school graduation rate. It's not low, but it's not as high as the group wanted to see it. So there's room for improvement. And what we hope to do through this method that combines community engagement, meaning we brought partners together, and asset mapping, which is let's talk about the strengths first, partner that together and actually come up with some strategies to attack one or two focus areas. Let's make a difference in those first, and then we'll take on a few more focus areas. So when I come back in January, we'll be synthesizing a lot of the information we got today together with a survey of citizens who live here in Magoffin County and what their concerns with regard to health are, and deciding what those focus areas ought to be.
Well, we are going to be doing a survey. Angie's going to be sending us some templates of surveys that we want to capture just concerned citizens. You know, we did have a couple of those folks here today at the meeting. We're very thankful for their input, but we do want to capture, you know, more input from some of the other folks in the community, and we'll use that to go along with the rest of the data that she was talking about analyzing and synthesizing for us. And I wanted to put a plug in too. We had a good mix of community partners, you know, health partners that were here, but there were also some that weren't here that we really need to hear from their perspective. So we'll be reaching out to them again before the next meeting, you know, hoping that they'll be able to join us, because our work's not over. We're just getting a good start, and there's plenty to be done.
As for the survey that many of us can expect to be forthcoming, they envision it right now available online in some capacity, and they also envision having hard copies that they'll be able to take throughout the community. It's going to be a simple questionnaire seeking public input on how you feel about your health and health care. An opinion from individuals, and not just those directly related to health care in our area, but those who just want to know more or have great concerns about our health in general. So look for the survey and look for us to let you know whenever it gets close to coming out. Up next, it's time for our community calendar, a service brought to you on behalf of Magoffin Farm Bureau. And you know what? This is not necessarily a good thing, just kind of, we'll call it a freak of nature. First time in 15 years, let me double check. First time in 15 years that I haven't had zero community calendar announcements. A slew of them here just wrapped up yesterday. I don't have any for tonight or for the rest of this week or weekend in front of me, unless I'm missing something. So, I've got time. Man, I really planned this out ahead, didn't I? Your news today, P.O. Box 1443 in Sigersville, Kentucky, 41465. You can phone them in at 349-3699. Fax them in at 349-3221. Your news today at yahoo.com. I'm on Facebook at Ritter Mortimer, and you can always drop them off here at the newsroom on 507 East Maple. And there's always a little brass box in the front door in case we're not here, which we often aren't. So there's your briefest of community calendars. But do keep it in mind, announcements are always free, always have been, always will, and still the best way to let everyone know what you've got planned. Just nothing planned tonight, I guess. With that said, in all seriousness, we do have other local announcements. They're brought to you as a service on behalf of our friends at the Magoffin County Funeral Home. And a reminder that anytime you need to know more about services, obituaries, or any other information from the Magoffin County Funeral Home, you can always log on to MagoffinCountyFuneralHome.com. Patricia Ann Akers McGuire, 69, of Sigersville, passed away on Sunday. She was preceded in death by her husband, Graham. In passing, she leaves behind sons Davy Gregory, Mike Gregory, Rodney Gregory, and James Hall, and daughters Tabitha Reed and Robin Morgan. Services for Patricia McGuire are going to be held tomorrow at 11 o'clock in the morning from the Sagersville Funeral Home Chapel. Visitation, of course, continues this evening, and the family asks that contributions can be made to the Patricia Ann McGuire Memorial Fund at the funeral home. And 80-year-old Jesse Howard of Falcon passed away on Tuesday of this week. He leaves behind sons Greg Howard and William Bill Howard, Jesse and Michael Howard as well. And a memorial service in his honor, celebrating his life, is going to be held Saturday afternoon. It begins at 1 o'clock, and it will be from the chapel at the Sagersville Funeral Home. Interment will follow at the family cemetery. The family will welcome friends on Saturday prior to services beginning at noon. Bailey's Furniture has done it again. This beautiful queen-size sleigh bed, media center, and matching chest are only $295 each, whether you buy one or buy them all. And you can save $400 and get a second nightstand with this gorgeous Von Bassett group. Lazy Boy rocker recliners start at $295, and Catnapper lift chairs start at $689 at Bailey's Furniture and GE Appliance Center.
Let's do this. Can't believe my daughter wants to marry a Hatfield.
And I can't believe my son fell in love with a McCoy.
I got one thing to say. They're going to have the wireless plan with the best service.
And I say they're going to have the wireless plan with the biggest savings.
Daddy!
Hush up, Mary Beth.
Pa, stay out of this, Jonah.
We're done talking.
You got that right.
Better service.
Bigger savings.
Daddy, we've both got Appalachian Wireless. Better service.
Bigger savings.
That's today's Appalachian Wireless.
Hi, I'm Don McFarland. I want to be your family lawyer. If you've been injured on the job, if you're interested in getting your Social Security disability or SSI benefits, or if you've been injured because of someone else's negligence, or basically, if a car wreck has caused you to suffer pain, then pick up the phone and call Donald Wayne, 349-9000.
From time and money saving services like their overdraft protection, telephone and online banking services, to finding the right home, college, or car loan, to personalized checking and savings accounts designed around your exact needs, Sagersville National Bank is still your best choice and the same locally owned and operated bank that's been looking out for your family's financial health since 1902. Sagersville National, restoring the piggy bank population one savings at a time.
Have a buck, get a truck. Now at Hutch Chevrolet, buy any new or pre-owned truck or car for $1. And get a shotgun or rifle just in time for deer season. If you got $1, get a truck. For example, 2013 Chevy Silverado was $37,000. Bucks and trucks price $25,990. Only at Hutch Chevrolet Buick GMC in Paintsville, Kentucky.
The 2014 Terexes are in with a newly redesigned 800cc power plant and a new 2-seat configuration. And the XP1000 is on the ground, 107 horsepower and a world-class suspension, plus Polaris financing as low as 2.99%, 5.99 for up to 72 months. But it's only good till the end of the year at Conley's Kawasaki and Polaris of Paintsville.
Tom Turkey here. Home Furniture's cooking up some sweet deals for the holidays. Buy a dining room suit and get 50% off the matching hutch. Buy a living room suit or sectional and get the matching chair or recliner 50% off. Buy any bedroom group and get a free mattress pad and sheet set. Plus, 0% interest for 3 years to qualified buyers. Make Thanksgiving a little tastier with your choice of a free ham or turkey with minimum purchase. Hurry into Home Furniture, Highlands Plaza, Prestonsburg.
McGoffin County Board of Education did meet earlier this week, and they were addressed by each of the 5 school principals of McGoffin County in regards to their thoughts on recent and second rounds of K-Prep testing for their respective schools and students and what their goals are from this point further. We'll bring you as much as we can from each of those addresses throughout the rest of this week, maybe leading over into next week. I'll try to wrap it all up on tomorrow night's program. But nevertheless, we'll cover the middle school and middle school principal Johnny Johnson's address to the board, where he began by stating that there was improvement, and like other schools, they still would like to be higher even than they are.
It did state that the middle school, as far as math is concerned, was about 2 points above the state mean, and that was about the same trend for reading. That's for 7th grade students. And in 8th grade Explorer and ACT preparation, they had a composite score of about 14 in 2012, and that increased by 1 point in 2013. But as I said, they still have a great deal of goals to get to where they want and need to be.
Look at now is how we will continue to improve on this year, 2013-2014, which is, I have all the confidence in the world that we're going to show some more gains, and it's based on what we have been doing, implementing our content planning times used efficiently and intentionally to increase rigor and student engagement in lessons. This is done through principal observations. This is done through our peer observations. We have teachers observing teachers to let them give each other feedback so they can grow together. It's really built the team, I don't really want to say team spirit, but it's built the team concept and the teachers and the fact that we're all in this together and we just want to work together to make each other better. We've developed informational reading strategies. This is the big thing now, as the other principals can attest to, is informational reading or reading for information. And this is something we've implemented in our 3rd period class. This is a class where I told students last year as 7th graders they would be placed based on their K-Prep scores. So the 6th graders coming in, and this is working seems to be working very well for us, and the kids are really enthused about it, and we're having real good participation. We have our weekly content professional learning committee meetings to ensure that there are no gaps in content and the curriculum is aligned to standards by addressing professional growth plans and student growth plans. Literacy coach and curriculum coach serve as support for instruction and implementation of all KDE district and school initiatives such as Common Core, ELA, in language arts and math, and our LDCs, which is language, arts, math, MDCs, and our professional growth in teacher evaluations. And that's all through our peer observations. So as faculty and staff, we would like to thank also the following people for their support. We had our Gear Up program has been very helpful in accessing computers, calculators that we have to have for assessment, and so forth, which we did lose a lot of that during the tornado, but we're in the process of getting some of that back. We did receive our 30 workstations that we had lost. We're in the process of getting back our 60 laptops we have with our wireless labs. So those are items that I think that will help us move ahead as the year goes on. Also, Donors Choose, the State Farm Insurance program, where they match donations, in which we had a lot of items replaced. And also Ms. Connie Hill, our librarian, who personally applied for and received over $50,000 worth of grants and money that she used to replace her library books and also replace the technology that we lost in our library. So this is where we've been, this is where we're going. So, just want to say I feel good about where we're heading. I couldn't be more proud of my staff. Our students have been overall very cooperative and want, and we know we're in a tight space, but we're doing the best we can with what we got.
And once again, 3 elementary school principals will be heard from just as soon as time allows, and we will begin that, if not complete those statements on tomorrow's program. Well, I'm going to wrap it up. Maybe a minute or two short. Andrew's playing basketball at South tonight. My intentions were to get out here a bit early. That's not happening thus far. Regardless, I've got one very important order of business left, and that's your Licking Valley RECC forecast, which has got, I don't know, it's just back and forth, and I don't see a real bright spot in any of it. One day that tip the good, you've got the bad, then you got the bad, you got the good. Here, you'll see what I mean. Tonight, though, withstanding a low of 44, that's nice. We're not in the teens tonight, although that's coming. And showers, mainly after 3 a.m. for us, under mostly cloudy skies, will put an end to your Thursday. Can you tell how excited I am about your forecast? And Friday, as excited as we are to see it, and see the milder temperatures hang around. We're going to see showers mainly after 7 a.m. We're talking a tenth, a quarter of an inch during the day, and about the same for tomorrow night. So upwards of a half inch for a lot of folks possible. Some areas might see a little more of that in some isolated spots, but just some showers continuing throughout much of the morning, afternoon, and into the maybe early evening hours even. Like I said, with the warm air, we have to take the trade-off of some rain. Well, clouds will give way to sunshine Saturday. There's a chance, 20% or so, of some showers ending up before 11 o'clock Saturday morning, and then from that point further, gradually becoming mostly sunny, but 45 looks where we're going to top out. You're going to enjoy that 25 in comparison to your Sunday forecast. A low of 22 on your Saturday night, under what should be clear skies, will take us to cold air. 30 right now is expected to be where we're going to be at on Sunday for daytime highs. Yes, that's below freezing for daytime highs. And the update in the last hour has gone from a nighttime low of 11 to 14. Not that you're going to really be able to feel the difference. Nevertheless, sunny, clear, and certainly cold on your Sunday. We'll start off next week on Monday. Partly sunny. That chance of some rain or snow is not until Monday night, but temperatures at the 40-degree mark at best. And right now, 39 degrees and sunny is your Thanksgiving Day forecast. Do I need to say that again? 39 degrees and sunny. That sounded better. For your Thanksgiving Day forecast. I'm out of here. Going to South. Hopefully didn't miss the ball game. We'll see you back here tomorrow night and wrap up this week with your news today. Good night, everybody, and thanks for watching.